people. I'm starting to stream on YouTube today, and then I'm gonna pipe it over to Reddit. I'm gonna try to get some Reddit people over to my YouTube channel. And I got a lot of water on this slide again, so it's gonna be a little jiggly, a little more jiggly than usual. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back, and you can enjoy this guy. There's some other things on here besides this tardigrade, but he's pretty cool to look at. I gotta get a more sturdy table. This table's not so bad when I'm just looking through the microscope, but when I'm touching it and focusing it, it gets the water jiggles like that, and it's a pain. And I may get a phone call. My AC, air condition, believe it or not, we use air condition down here in February. So it's my AC is acting up, so I'm waiting for the AC people to call me up. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I saw your comment. Was that Panacea? Yeah, I was just reading your comments. I don't have any other accounts on those other services, but I'll look into that. Twitch, it's real hard to build up followers on those platforms, but I'll start streaming to other places also. Yeah, I don't know where you are, but it was, I mean, I'm in Louisiana, so South Louisiana, and I think it was about 77 yesterday. Yeah, I've been here all my life, and I've seen it hot every winter, but I've also seen it real cold in the winter too. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, it was sometimes 3, 4 winters in a row. You'd get ice in the vacant lots and the ponds and stuff. They'd turn to ice. You don't get that too much anymore. I'm trying to set up my Reddit. I really can't see my comments on Reddit, so. Let me try to get a window up here. Let's see. Yeah, let me look at the stats. There's my stats. And the water is kind of deep. And I got a gimpy table here, so I think I'm gonna go over to Home Depot and get me a sturdy table. Something sturdier than this thing. I usually don't put a, let me, if you're on, I know I probably have some people on Reddit, but for some reason I can't see my stats. So let me see something real quick. Okay, got this. No, I still don't see. Well, I tell you, it never ends. I still don't see my how many people are watching, things like that. So if you're on Reddit, bear with me. I'll see if I'm getting any questions here. We turn off all my stats and stuff. All right. Always something. I mean, why am I seeing my audio? I'm gonna jump off Reddit for a second. Uh-oh. Like I have to end Reddit because it's really, something's wrong with it. Hang on. So I'll be back on. Oh man. I might have to put a, cover slide on here because this is really jiggly. Okay, looks like I'm back on Reddit so I can concentrate now. Yeah, I'm not liking this jiggly table here. I may end up putting this on the ground. Let's see. I think I will. I think I'm gonna do something extreme here. I'm gonna move my, since this table's so jiggly and I keep saying jiggly, but it shakes. See how it shakes? And it's really aggravating. So I'm gonna see if I can lift this microscope without spilling my water and put it on the ground. And I can't. Hang on. So hang on right there. You can see the water's flowing. Okay, now I should be able to. Let's try it now. So it's going to shake for a second. All right. Well, you can see some of the water spilled off, so now we got to find our creatures again. The water's moving to another part of the slide. That's an amoeba. That's a paramecium. Where'd my water bag go? There he is. There you go. I found you. You didn't go anywhere. And you can see how this is on the floor now. So it's much, much, much better. It doesn't jiggle around and move around a lot. It's way better, folks. So even though I'm on the foil, it's going to give everybody a better experience here without it without it shaking and moving and shucking and jiving. So, and see, as I focus it, it doesn't move at all, so that's good. Can touch it all I want. There you go, perfect. So there's some other things on here. So I see he's right in the middle, so let's go explore a little bit. That is a Paramecium that looks a little weird, huh? No, that's not a Paramecium. That looks like a small one of those guys. That is an amoeba right there, or two amoeba. Let's zoom in on him. See how that looks? So that's an amoeba. That's two amoebas. And that green thing is a spirogyra. You can see one amoeba is going west and one's going northeast. That's how I explain things on my screen. And all those things are just little food vacuoles and stuff, stuff that is digested earlier. I think. I can't be sure. They don't have blood or anything like that, and cytoplasm is pretty clear. So this is just some vacuoles here. You can see another one down here. That looks like an aliasoma. That might have, I don't know, it's small. That aliasoma is small. And I might get a phone call here in a little bit that I'll try to answer, but I think it's going to disrupt the YouTube feed when I do get this phone call. My AC's broke. Well, it's not broke, but it's not cooling like it should. So these are pretty cool beasts here. Amoeba. This one down here, I don't know what this amoeba's doing. You can see how it's clear. See how the cytoplasm's clear right there. This amoeba looks like it might be eating something. It looks like it did engulf something right here. We're too late to see what it is though. Bring on the tardigrade. Yeah, I have one on here. We'll look for him in a second. I'm gonna keep this amoeba on here. I'm gonna go get me a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. So. So that is that's an amoeba right there. That star-shaped thing looks like a jellyfish or something. Yeah, that star-shaped thing, house housing. So I'm looking on YouTube. It's interesting how the cells inside the amoeba move, help make the amoeba itself move. That's interesting to watch. Yeah, that's called cytoplasmic streaming. That's cytoplasmic streaming. This right here, whoops, Central Georgia, 16 years, originally from Chicago. There you go. Yeah, so it's probably hot in Georgia too. This thing right here looks like, well, tell you the truth, I can't really tell. This looks like it could have been plant related, but I can't tell. When I first looked at this, it did look like it was moved. Yeah, this is, if you look really good right up here, you could see this is moving. This is like an amoeba. I don't know if this broke off from the other amoeba, but this surely is part of an amoeba. That star-shaped thing. That looks like an amoeba that broke off. You know, I didn't catch it when it first happened, so there's no way for me to tell. But I did see it moving a little while ago. Now this amoeba right here is on the prowl, and somebody asked about it. That's about how it streams. That's cytoplasmic streaming. That's how they move, and no brain or anything. They just move like that. It's in their DNA. Uh-oh, is this a collapse right here? I don't like to see this guy. This thing right here, I don't like to see. See that thing? If that's a collapse, that thing looks like I don't know what it looks like, a vase. If that's a collapse, you don't want these in your stuff because they eat up everything. They like piranha fish. Yeah, that thing's wicked. That's oh, where did it go? Yeah, you see that star-shaped thing? That star-shaped thing is gone. I think that's it right here. Yeah, sorry about that. There it is. Where did I find these amoebas? These amoebas came from a pond. I didn't mean to get them. They just came in my pond water, and I had a few, and then they multiplied. Now I got them all over my garage. Yeah, well, we could get it a little in 3D. Somebody on Reddit saying 3D. I can get these amoebas to look 3D by bending the light around them with a slider. It's not true, but but it is a little 3D. But you can't you can't move around them. You could just see a little shadow. So I'll do that in a second. So let's see. See like this if you so this is as 3D as you're gonna get on this type of microscope. So what this does is it bends the light. So it bends it from one side to the other, so you can kind of see a shadow cast. So you can see how these things aren't totally flat, but they do have some shape. See if I can get this in black and white. Nah. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Let's keep it normal. So, it's okay to look at them like that for once in a while, but usually when people think of a microscope, this is kind of what they see. And so you see them more in a flat situation here. Ahmed, this is an amoeba. so, So I do have a lot of amoebas on here. There's my star-shaped guy. That's a spirostonum right there. Well, that thing right there is an amoeba. So that's an amoeba. I got a lot of things on this slide. What's the most intelligent microscopic pet? You know, microscopic worms, I guess. If you're going to say microscopic, things you can't really see with your eye right away, I guess it would have to be worms. Some microscopic crustaceans. Those are going to be the most intelligent ones. Yeah, somebody's asking on, this is 150 right here. Somebody's asking on YouTube about the magnification. So this is 150, and when I pinch zoom, I can go, this is an estimate, so this is about 300 right here. So this is about 300. Yeah, this isn't a water bear right here. Somebody said give it a belly rub. So this is amoeba, and what I can do is I do have. Let me zoom out. So this is 40x right here. This is 40 times, and you could see all the things on here. I got a lot of amoebas on here, and let's see if we can find a tardigrade. So what you do to find a tardigrade, I usually go to one side of the water, like right here, and I just go up and down. No tardigrades, no tardigrades, a lot of spirogyra, a lot of amoeba. Yeah, I mean, this microscope's not very special. It's a little more expensive than a hobby microscope, I guess, at about $700. Uh, but you can get a $200 microscope. Oh, look, who was with me the other day? Here's some tardigrade eggs. So it's good to see that my eggs are still going. Yeah, so this is another tardigrade skin right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tardigrade eggs in it. Yay! All right, so that's pretty cool. So as you know from yesterday, tardigrades have eggs inside of them. They get fertilized, and then they shed their skin, and they make baby tardigrades. So each one of those will be a tardigrade. So that's pretty cool because this means my sample of tardigrades is doing really good. When they're laying eggs, they're doing great. Yeah, so yesterday, I think, just believe it or not, just from about 60 people watching my YouTube channel for about an hour, I think I got about 60 hours of viewing time. I'm still about 2,800 behind. I got to get to 4,000, and that 4,000 is a rolling year, a rolling year. So like tomorrow, a year ago today is going to fall off. So if I had 10 hours last year at this time and I get 20 hours today, that's a plus 10. How long is the gestation period? I think for this species, or most species, about 40 days. Yeah, and if you could see these in 3D, they would be sort of round. That's right. Let me see if I can get a little 3D look on these guys. So you can't really see, but they do have a rounded, they're a little flat. They're not like a chicken egg, but they are round. If I've seen them, I've seen when I put a drop of water, they'll float around and spin a little bit. And so you could see, it's really hard to imagine, but they are a little rounded. Okay, so let's go ahead and And you can see the outline of the egg perfect. I don't know if they're also bulletproof, assume they were. Well, here's, somebody said a tardigrade's bulletproof. What happens is when they dry out, okay, that's when they burn proof and radiation proof. When they dry out, because they're just like a powder, like a dried up powder. There's no biology going on. And when you add water back, it reconstitutes and the creature comes back to life. So in reality, if you took that powdered form, let's say, and you pulverized it or shot it with a gun or a laser and it poofed it and it went all over the place, then no, it's not going to survive. Each little piece is not going to come back as a new tardigrade. So when it dries out into its ton phase, TUN phase, it has to stay. It has to stay together. So a gunshot or some kind of pulverization of it is going to screw it up. So let me go ahead and look for the tardigrade. So we know we got eggs on here. And you can see, look how small those eggs are. That's 40 times the size. And look how small they are. See that? We were looking a few minutes ago about 400 times. This is 40. And what we're doing is looking for a moving tardigrade here. That's some fungus and algae things like to get into. This guy right here is a worm called an aliasoma. I really don't like these in my stuff because they poop a lot. These things, they poop an awful lot and they kind of make my water dirty. So I really don't like that. Hey, thanks, Brian. Yeah, I did get a lot of hours yesterday and last night. So other people are coming by and playing some playlists on there. So that's good. So this is a true worm. Somebody asked me what's the most intelligent thing that I've seen. If you're going to go by intelligence today, this is probably the most intelligent creature you're going to see on my slide. This aliasoma. It's a true worm. I think it's an annelid. No, it's not. It's like a flatworm type. You can look it up. Aliosoma. Look, see, here's another one. And when these get going on your slide, when these get going in your culture, they never stop. You get a million of them, and they poop all over your slide. I don't know what that's a paramecium. I mean, that's more. So I know I have at least one tardigrade on here because I saw him earlier. So that's what we're looking for. Oh, there it is. You gotta have a good eye, folks. See him? So that's tardigrade at 40x, 40, 40 times, and let's go to 150. So that's 150. And if I get a phone call on YouTube, it's probably going to kick me off of YouTube. So I have my AC doesn't seem like it's cooling, so I got to get the AC person out of here. They're supposed to call me back. And this guy moves a lot, so I got to kind of keep refocusing and refocusing on him. Speech movies. Yeah, it's pretty fun doing microscope stuff, and especially when you get interest in things that people like tardigrades and stuff, really gets interesting. There he is doing what tardigrades do. Yeah, I'm streaming on Reddit and YouTube. If you could jump over to my YouTube channel, you could find it Skid987. I'll try to post a link to it, and it'll help me get some hours up on my YouTube channel. Let me see if I can post a link for you. Hang on. All right, share this, copy. There you go. So if you go to my YouTube channel, there's less of a delay with my voice, and you'll help me get up to those hours, 4,000 viewing hours. Do you have order a special kit for tardigrades, or are they something you can find around you? Maybe tardigrades are like the, yeah, no, tardigrades are pretty much anywhere. You got to know how to find them. You got to know how to find them. Do you have a device to record video through your mic? Yeah, I do. I'll explain that in a second. You have to know where to find them, but if you see any moss that grows on the ground, or fences, or lichens on trees, that's usually where they are. So I do have a video on YouTube that shows you how I caught these. And yeah, the actual, what I have right now, what you're looking through is through my iPhone. So if I wanted to, I could record this, and I do a lot of recording also. So. And on Reddit, on RPAN, you can record also, and you'll get some recording. But yeah, I use my iPhone. The iPhone by far. I have a standalone camera, a USB camera that goes on the top of the microscope, and it was a few $100. It was fairly expensive, and I got to tell you, the iPhone does much better with the adapter. I mean, it's so much more clear and smoother than the standalone camera. And you can tell these, see how they got the green inside of them? See that little green? That means they've been eating fairly good. Sometimes you can see eggs. I don't think the eggs in these guys are fairly big, so if it had eggs in them, you'd see them. So you can see these are fairly complex things. They have they have mouth parts. They have an esophagus. They have sort of like a stomach. Yeah, tardigrades look like miniature caterpillars. They do sort of look like caterpillars. They fall from a caterpillar though. Caterpillars are much more complicated beasts. But yeah, they do look like caterpillars. He's walking on glass. This one's actually walking upside down, so his back is toward the slide, and oh no, he's not. He's walking. Yeah, his feet are down under him, So he's walking on the glass slide. Okay. And that green thing right there is Spirogyra algae. Well, he's hooked to this fungus right here. He's dragging it around with him. Yeah, no, there's water on this. There's water on it, of course, but his feet are on the glass, so that's why he can't move around. Scale of the video. Let's see if we can get you some scale. This is about 300x. This is 150. And this is 40. See if I can get something on here to give you some scale. Let me see, what can I get that's see-through? Maybe a pen? Maybe a paper clip? Let me go see. See if I can get some. Something like that. Somebody yesterday asked me about the scale of these things also. So I'm gonna try to give you some idea of scale on here. So this is about 150x right here. I don't really have anything except a paper clip. I'm gonna try to put the paper clip on here, and nah, it's not gonna work. And what I'll do is I'll move the I'm gonna put this on 40x. Okay, so that's the tardigrade on 40x. So I'm trying to see where he is. So if I do this, hang on, I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna break off this paper clip right here and put it on. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I put the paper clip on the slide and I'm gonna move over. So this is the tardigrade at 40x. Yeah, this is fascinating. Mimosum. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, that's a tardigrade right there at 40x. This is about 70x right here. Okay, so we're gonna go back out to 40 and we're gonna go look for this paper clip, okay? So that is the edge of a paper clip. Okay, so so this is the edge of a paper clip right here. Okay, and it's the best I can do right here. All right, so that's a paper clip at 40x. So now we're gonna go see if we can find our tardigrade again. If we can, and you'll see how tiny he is. See right here? So that gives you some idea how big that tardigrade is. Or how small it is. So you could probably put 100 of them on the width of that little tiny paper clip. Yeah, stream with OBS. I'm sort of streaming to Reddit with OBS right now, somebody put. So I can, there's an app, an OBS app you could pay for, and a service where you could stream to 5 or 10 places at one time. I didn't tackle that yet, but I'll do it soon. Yeah, the scale, a lot of people ask for the scale, and, you know, the best thing is to put something on here that you know how big it is, like a salt grain or pepper grain or something, but if you accidentally get salt into the water, into this drop of water, it's gonna pretty much kill them. So you kind of got to stick with the paper clips. Now, having salt or a little dust or something on here is better because you can kind of scroll and see it in real life. The paper clip, you have to refocus a lot, so. Yeah, it could cause lag. I think, I can't be sure, but if somebody wants to look that up, right now I'm streaming from my iPhone to YouTube and from my computer to Reddit. So that's definitely doubling up my Wi-Fi bandwidth, definitely 100%. But correct me if I'm wrong, if I have a computer and I have the feed coming in, okay, my iPhone's connected to it, or my camera's connected to my computer, and that computer is streaming to 4 different services from one app. Is that 4 times the bandwidth, or is it just spitting it out to 4 different places? I do tech support, but I'm not familiar with how that would work. Well, you're looking at an upload speed here in my garage here. I can get about 25, what is that, bits upload. Get out of here, kitty cat. What is that? BPM. So, so it's not blazing fast this far away from the router, but I could get up to maybe 100 or so. Yeah, you got to have a decent upload speed to stream. Oh, look at these two. These are, oh God, what are these called? Euplotes. And this one looks like it's dividing. See? Yeah, 25. Yeah, I mean, that's about what I have here. So I'm about 25 and it streams pretty good. If somebody wants to look up Euplotes division, that's what these things are doing right here. Looks like they came to check out the tardigrade. Yeah, so somebody said, I'm pretty sure each stream affects bandwidth and resources per stream. There you go. And then so salt kills them, but space environment doesn't. No, what's happening is salt. What salt does, it changes the water, so it'll suck the water out of these things. So what'll happen is when tardigrades are alive like this, they can be killed. I mean, I can squish him right now with a cover slide and kill him. What happens is if he dries up, if the water dries up overnight, and then a couple of days later, all the water drains out of him, he becomes almost like an egg with just dry powder inside of it. So that dry powder you could throw into outer space or whatever, and it lasts forever. And gets on a planet or something and gets wet, it'll come back to life. But when they're in this state right here, they could be killed. I mean, I've accidentally squished them sometimes. You know, if you have a cover slip on here and forget about it, and the water dries up too fast before they can dry out, it'll squish them. What you looking at, kitty cat? Hmm? You purring? Let's see. If the app sends to different platforms, right, from you, that's right. So I'd have to look that up because I don't know how on OBS Studio, there are, you could sign up for, I don't know, it's a couple of bucks a month, different services, and you could stream to 5, 6, 10 places at one time. You know, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit. Well, not Reddit. Reddit don't do it, but you could stream to them at one time. I would imagine that it is sending it. If you're paying for that service, I mean, it's just my gut feeling that you are sending it and then they spitting it out after that. Yeah, I'll look it up. Mimosan? I'm not sure. Let's see. If I get lucky, I get 100K upload speed. Oh yeah, 100K is not going to do it. That's good to send in text messages. Oh, it's getting hot in here. So yeah, it's pretty slow afternoon. Yesterday I had a whole bunch of people on here yesterday. Oh yeah. So if your computer's getting 100K, yeah, that's that's fairly slow. Let's see, so that'd be 100,000K. What was it years ago when I first started? You had a 2600 baud, and then it went up to 28.8. So at least 100 Ks blazing fast compared to those days. And that was download speeds, that baud rate. I don't know if it went upload and download when you were doing the old modem. So a grain of salt, okay, let's say a grain of salt, just from my memory, would probably, just one little tiny grain of salt, you could probably put about 3 of these tardigrades side by side on it. Maybe 4. You know, depending on the size of the salt. Yeah, 96. Yeah, you ran a bulletin board. Boy, I remember those. You must be my age. I started when the internet just started. Even before, yeah, those bulletin boards were before Prodigy and before AOL and all that. And I don't know if any young people here, how they had those bulletin boards, but if you wanted to send an email to somebody or communicate with somebody, let's say in Japan or even across town, what would happen is you would type the message, okay, to them, type the message to them, and you know, you type all day whatever you wanted, but then you'd upload it to a bulletin board, it's called, and then that bulletin board, let's say at midnight, would connect to another bulletin board, and that bulletin board would connect to another. And so by the time so your message went out, let's say you typed the message at 8 o'clock in the morning, well, the next party you would get, your message would get to whoever it was maybe at midnight, and then if they read it at 2 in the morning, then they would type it back to you, and you wouldn't get it back till the next midnight, depending on your bulletin board and how often they would upload. So that's old school. Yeah, your regular inbound isn't. Yeah, it's going to affect the outbound quality. That's for sure. So I'll look it up. Because, you know, if you're going to get slowed down, you know, especially with these creatures, you want a good smooth stream. Yeah, there you go, 12 a.m. So they were something else. I mean, it was something. And then guess what? You thought of how cool it was, how great that was, that you didn't have to mail somebody a letter. you can type to them. Yeah, FidoNet. Email, baud rates to Scott Senator. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they had all yeah, I never did run a bulletin board, but it was unbelievable. Yeah, at my house I have Cox cable, which is fairly slow. Fairly slow in the grand scheme of things. It's fast, but my daughter has UVerse fiber, and it is like I get about 25 to 60 upload speed on here. My daughter gets like 300 upload on that fiber, even through Wi-Fi. So it's blazing fast. And I remember me and my brother-in-law, we used to play Doom. You used to connect. You had to each get Doom run. You had to get on the phone and say, okay, I'm running the program. I'm going to receive, you send, and you would have to dial his phone number. It would connect, and then you would play Doom. I wish UVerse was available here. In-laws have it. Yeah, it's just not even a comparison. Cox is still coaxial, and I think Cox has some fiber, but by the time it gets to your house, it's back to coax again. No, I was just over my daughter's house today fixing something, and she just got UVerse the other day, and I can record my screen if you want next time, but I got the the app that you can test your speed, and it was pegged. My download speed was over 300 easy, and my upload speed was pegged all the way over to that also. So it was, it's way faster than 60. It's in the hundreds. Yeah, Doom was great. And I guess even back then in the modem days, it worked fairly well, until somebody called you. If you forgot to disable call waiting and somebody called you, it'd knock you offline. Yeah, so yeah, Duke Nukem. And even before Doom, boy, what was I on? They had an app, and who remembers, like when you'd buy a game or something, it would come on about 17 small discs. It would come on about 17 discs and take you an hour and a half to load the app. I should get 300 download and 100 upload with Starlink when it arrives next month. So they say, yeah, Wolfenstein Starlink. How do you get that? Do you just find it? Somebody explain that Starlink to me. Yeah, star 72, call waiting. If you forgot to do that, then you would get kicked off. All of a sudden, you would just freeze. That's an amoeba right there. I've been on about an hour. I gotta go pick up my granddaughter today, so I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. And it's Friday, so I might be back later. And I gotta go over to my daughter's house later, and yeah, and I'm gonna record the download speed I get with my speed test. Installing King's Quest took forever on about 15 discs. Oh, it was horrible. I mean, you had to go. I remember putting a disc in, and you'd have to come back like, I'm telling you, 6, 7, 8 minutes later, and then put the next disc in. Starting the new satellite, you can go to their website and order it. I've been waiting since last February. No kidding. I'm gonna go there because I'm always game to new stuff. See how it works. You've been waiting since last February. I guess they got to launch all those rockets, huh? And then didn't a lot of Starlink come crashing down because of the solar flares last week? All right, so I'm just gonna go a few more minutes, gang, and then we'll might pick up later. It's Friday, so I might get a couple of drinks and stream these guys again. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and end the Reddit stream first. And thanks for coming. I'll see y'all later. Okay, just on YouTube. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna jump off and leave this here. Yeah, they had a mishap with a rocket that had 60 satellites on it. That's insane. Yeah, those solar flares, I can't even imagine they didn't plan for that. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it once it's up in the sky. But these are low Earth orbit satellites, so solar flares are going to knock them out all the time. These aren't in geosynchronous orbits, I don't believe. I think they just travel around, sort of like GPS does. Like GPS, people think those are geosynchronous, but they're not. They're moving all the time. They're in fairly low Earth orbit, I think. And just the mathematics on them makes them so good and triangulate you. It doesn't matter if they're moving. All right, gang, thanks for watching. And I had an average of about 5 people watching for about 60 minutes. So that should be a good couple of hours of viewing time. So thanks for watching. And I might come on later tonight. So check your stats later and check and see if I'm here. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Yeah, you see low Earth orbit. I think GPS is fairly low also. And whenever you get solar flares and puts a drag on them, the atmosphere expands and it drags, and that's it. They're toast. So thanks a lot, guys and girls. Bye-bye.